go find her. Take the pearls and give them to Lilly.
Good morning, Milton. And especially you, Hobbs. Given that you'll never bleed to death after I pull the knife out of your side. So yes, he will never die, even if you spend weeks in game. Anyway, we had a nice little sleep next to this guy. And it is now about 7 AM in the morning, I believe. Very close to. There and thereabouts. The exact time doesn't really matter. We basically looted the entire place. There are a few things that were left in terms of fuel right here. But all the food, everything else that guy might rely on to survive, it's not here. So hopefully it doesn't decide to target Granny, of course. Which would be a real shame, right? Because we're about to leave a whole bunch of food and the fuel with her. It would be a shame if he moved in. Okay, so I was hoping for a nice clear day so I could use the mag lens to cook this meat. And then take it back in a safer manner, but... looks like we're gonna have to take it raw. Okay, what's the wind like? Oh, it's extremely calm. So instead of using a flare, I should be able to use a torch. So we may have to light it if a wolf, probably when a wolf comes at us. Wait. Is that clearing? That's not clearing, is it? Oh, it's clear. Oh my god. Okay, drop all the meat first. So yes, drop all the meat first. And then let's start a fire. I should like to have them closer to the stairs, facing the stairs. Excellent, let's burn some Canadian money as well. Now, I am playing on version 2.0. There are a few small noticeable changes to it. Especially when it comes to lighting torches on existing fires. The long and short of it is that you can't do that anymore. So remember how we used to light the torches on the infinite fire at Grandma's? That's not possible. It's a real shame. It doesn't really affect survival mode, but it does affect us on story mode. So, wait, what? That was not supposed to be possible. Okay, so I might have to go and try that again on Granny's. But I tried this previously and I wasn't able to light a torch of a campfire. In any case, there is quite calm, it is clear, and yes, let us move back. That's just water and a few burnt out torches, and I'm a little bit overweight, so I'm not gonna get that. That wolf is coming. So yes, as you can see from the center of the screen at the top, we have 3 smell sticks. That means that the wolves will come for us from very far away, so you have to have some means to keep them at bay. Fire is great. Alternatively, you can use a flare gun. Or if you're playing on a difficulty lower than interloper, you can use guns. But it doesn't keep them away, you will still have to shoot them. I'm picking up sticks because we owe Grandma some fuel. Yeah, so that wolf is gonna keep stalking us. Luckily the day is nice and calm, temperature is great. Yeah, there's very little risk of the torch going out, which is great news. There is a possibility of a body up there. I don't think it spawns in story mode. We could go up there. If it was windy or if it was really cold, then I wouldn't waste any time. I would just make a beeline for Granny's. But we can afford to spend some time, I think. Ah, okay, that's a corpse out there. Now, corpse for what? Is that at the barn? Yes, it is at the barn. Unless there's another corpse that I missed. Anyway, let's not let the torch go out, because that would be really bad for us. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that there. It's just a stick. It is possible to also avoid wolves by getting into positions that they can't get to. I don't know if this is a good idea. So at the moment the wolf can't get to me, even if he wanted to. So there are ways to billy goat down. Let's see. That would be a bit risky. Okay, so crouching does help you. Okay, that was lucky. But That could have been really risky. Now the wolf is up there. That is one way to get rid of them. So like I said before, if they can't get to you, they'll flee. Including if you're standing on ledges that they can't physically get to. Okay, he's in charging mode, so he's gonna come to you. So yes. So once they begin charging, they'll never stop charging. That applies to any kind of predator, unfortunately. So once the charge begins, the only way to get rid of them is to either make them flee or get into the struggle animation. They never get tired. They will never quit, which is a problem. To me, I think you should be able to scare them away without actually causing physical harm. Although having said that, right now we smell really, really nice, so... In any case... So that wolf is gonna follow us. I don't really care at the moment. We have enough torches. But yes, during daytime, the wolves will growl at you when they're stalking you. But when it comes to night, they will actually try to silently creep up on you. And the only time they'll make any noise is when they get close enough to begin the charge. That is why you should always carry a weapon or some kind of means to protect yourself, regardless of whether you actually see any animals or not. So if you have a weapon like a gun or a bow, then it's a good idea to walk around with it out. Same with the flare gun. The flare gun will scare away anything. He'll follow us all the way home. Now the interesting thing is that only one wolf can ever be stalking you, so he's given up because this guy took over. So yes, only one wolf can ever be stalking you, or any animal. So if you're being stalked by a wolf and a bear, so only one of them can be aggroed at any given time. So one of the tactics that you can use when you're hunting bears is to pull them towards shelter. So that means that when you do kill them, you're actually pretty close to somewhere warm. And that way you don't have to necessarily carry all that smelling meat with you. So normally that happens in survival difficulty once you hit level 5 cooking. Makes a huge difference being able to eat. Makes a huge difference being able to eat bear meat. I'm not even kidding you. Okay, so because we got the pry bar, we can actually do that now. So I need to remember to do that. And also, the day is spectacularly nice. Oh yeah, spectacularly nice. So let's get inside. Let's see. Yeah, all this meat is cooked. Now let's see if we can't start a fire. So let me just pick up a book so I can guarantee that I can start a fire.
This gear's starting to slow me down.
Okay. Cooked. Plenty of meat. torch. There you go. No burn Canadian money. Because it's useless. Alright, don't post hate comments, any Canadians out there. We love you. Okay, perfect.
That did it.
Now let me try this. Because this wasn't happening. Actually, let me just start something cooking first. That was not what I wanted. So generally want to cook stuff that will finish cooking at roughly the same time. So in this case, I'm looking for 1 kilo chunks of meat, which I believe we have exactly 6 of. Perfect, and don't forget to fuel that. Okay, so because I went this way and then I'll finish this way, this one will take the longest, so 55 minutes. That's good enough. Perfect. Okay, so now let me try this out. Because this didn't work before. So normally you should be able to hold the left mouse button down to light the torch. Ah, okay, yeah, so it doesn't work. You can still get torches by pulling them out, but you can't light already existing torches on the fires. Let's see here. Yeah. So like I said before, this is a change that's happened as part of version 2. You can't light the torch out of this anymore. So that means no more abusing infinite fires, unfortunately. So you can still cook and boil water out of them, but you can't carry the fire with you. Not automatic like you used to be able to. Alright, fine. That is a definite change. Okay, so let me get a few more torches while we have a fire here. Okay, so let's see, that's 36. So the last time, we got the keys to the last remaining safe deposit box in the bank vault. That is part of the story quest. Okay, so I'm gonna have to dump all this outside. This may attract wolves, of course. Okay, drop the raw meat first, because that smells the most. And everything else is what? Okay, here we are. So there are a few chunks of non-1 kilo. And we'll actually consume the other ones. Because we're kind of peckish. And then I have a bit too much water. Oh yes, so I didn't leave Hobbs any water. He's gonna die first. Lucky him. Oh yes, I should probably dump all this stuff as well. Okay, there's that. Ah, there's an extra pot, of course. Put that there. We'll keep the better. Oh, we'll use up the worst one. Of course. There's a whole bunch of canned goods. That's that. Socks, ski jackets. Right, so plenty of socks. Here we have hoodie. There is something extra that I've got. Or maybe not. Maybe not. Anyway. Okay, that's a bit heavy. And no need to carry multiple types of matches. Alright. So I'll leave all the sticks here. And we'll probably end up giving them to Grandma as fuel. Anyway, so that's 8 minutes, that's good enough. Because we have a few cans that we can cook, we should take advantage of that fire. I may need to add a little bit of fuel. So let's let that cook while we go to the bank vault. that can't be cooked. This can be. If you were playing on Survivor, cooking each of these would give you 1 point of skill, which is very important early on. So you should cook all the cans as soon as possible. They don't spill or anything like that, so you should be okay. Let me add one more. So that's about 11 minutes. 10 minutes. That may just be okay. It is a bit of a gamble. Normally should aim for at least 1 minute. Because just because it says 8 minutes and 7, yeah, the file will probably go out. That's okay. Ah, it's burnt out. Okay, so I guess we're adding fuel anyway. 3 minutes. Yeah, we definitely need to add one more. So dealing with fires in stoves is slightly different. Okay, fine, let's go. So the reason I want to drop everything is because being overweight drains your energy faster. So ideally you want to be underweight, and also being underweight makes you move faster. Right, so this should be the last bit of loot in the bank itself. It's also part of the story quest. There you go, and we can read the text. Grandmother's stolen item.
I could use this.
And a bit of cash. Yes, we did take that, and... aha! I knew there was one thing that I've forgotten. I don't think we'll get anything particularly great. Yeah, okay. Combat boots are okay. Combat boots are okay, but they're not amazing. Especially if they're ragged. Okay, the wind is picking up. Let me go back. We do want to inspect all the cars. And energy is quite low, as you can see. Right, let me pick that up. We'll cook that next to Grandma. Okay, this is not... Alright, let me start a fire. Because I believe that speaking to Grandma will actually put out a fire. And then once we're done speaking with Grandma, I'll just pull out a few torches.
Come on.
That's good enough.
I managed to get into the bank and...
Did you find it?
Here's the safety deposit box you asked for. I still don't...
Shh, please. Give me the box.
Jewelry? I don't understand. You said this would help me find her.
It will. Outsider, it will.
I need to find my friend. Do you think you'll be okay here by yourself?
You've done more for me than you can know, Mackenzie. These pearls were my Lilly's.
I didn't come across anyone in the farmhouse or bank that seemed like a Lilly.
Lilly was... It doesn't matter.
Did you get confused? In your foggy gray memories? Maybe you thought Lilly and my friend were the same?
I'm sorry, Mackenzie. I thought I was helping you.
It's okay. I don't think you're in any danger anymore. You should have enough supplies to last a while now. I'm sure help is on the way.
Now that I have her pearls. Lily's things.
What? Sorry, I don't understand.
I needed the pearls to remember her, but now you can take her things. Upstairs, in her old room, her climbing gear, her maps. They can help you get out of Milton. The path through the mountains.
You mean there's another way out?
Yes. My Lily was a climber. That's what happened. Never mind that. Take the rope, the map, follow her path. It'll lead you out of Milton and deeper into the mountains, north, towards Perseverance Mills.
Okay. If you're sure. Thank you.
Now lead me to my memories, outsider. Go out there and find your friend. And don't stop to think about Milton or Grey Mother again. We're of the old world. This new world is for the strong to survive.
Yeah, that's not the end of it.
Lilly. Who was she?
You want to understand Lily's story? Man who fell from the sky.
I think I know enough about Lost to understand why you wanted her pearls.
Then take them to Lilly.
Lily's still here? In Milton? Why didn't you say so?
Go find her. Take the pearls and give them to Lilly. And then I can rest in peace.
So there is a final quest to give the pearls to Lilly. Alright, so that didn't take much time actually. Right, so that gives us one last thing, which I believe is the last side quest. We need to find the supply cache at the church. That's not too much trouble. Yes, we need to get up to the bridge, which is far to the north. And we need to still add a whole bunch of fuel here. Now it is worth doing this, but we will find a whole bunch of food here as well. Much of it can be rotten. We could just leave, but if you do all this stuff, you get quite a few bonuses, so well worth doing. There you go. Alright, let me drop a whole bunch of canned food here. We'll give it to Grandma later on. Or special the... No, actually, let me just put it straight into the fridge. Seems like click dragging is the safer solution. Yeah, dog food. Perfect. Cans are normally good, but they're pretty heavy, so don't necessarily want to lug too many of them around. Yes, and a bit of antiseptic as well that we picked up. Ah, yes, the combat boots as well. I need to get rid of them. Right, so the combat boots are in bad condition, so that's not good. Okay, they're a bit heavy. Fine. Leave that be on for the time being. And the pot. Okay, get rid of the bad torches. We'll convert them back into sticks. Alright, fine. Let's go check out how things are outside. Okay, so it's foggy. That means that there won't be too much wind. Alright, so let's step inside. Let's actually find the rope. So what I'll do is I'll deploy the rope first. The reason for that is because the rope is quite heavy. And when we finally leave Great Mothers, eventually, pretty soon, probably in the next couple of days, we want to max out our carrying capacity. But we don't want to carry the rope as well, because it's quite heavy. Right, and that is the map. You can see the dashed line showing you the route. That means we need to climb down. Okay, so the rope itself weighs about 5 kilos. When we leave, spoilers, we can't be overloaded. So one of the things about the game is that if you're climbing, which we will as you can see, you cannot climb when you're overloaded. That means up or down. So there is a problem. So ideally you want to deploy this first. And also get a chance to look at some of the cars. Because now that we have a pry bar, we should be able to inspect every single car. So what I'll do is, so we checked out those cars over there. This one doesn't have a trunk. So I'll go down here and I'll come back through the back way. There's no other cars anywhere else. So there's nothing particularly amazing. They can be. So lock containers tend to have a higher probability of having good stuff. But I don't think story mode has anything particularly amazing.
I think I need to lay down.
So luckily the new version doesn't prevent you from lighting torches with torches. Or from campfires as you saw before. I tried this previously, I don't know why, but I tried that previously. And I wasn't able to light a torch from a campfire. The only thing I was able to do was actually just add more fuel and take a torch from the fire. Which is a bit inconvenient. But it looks like we can't actually use the infinite fires to light a torch anymore, so... Don't know if that's a deliberate design decision, but it does significantly change the value of those fires. Okay, let's keep going here. So the place you deploy the rope at is that little park that we've been at already. So that's why I wanted to go there early. Because if you don't loot all the stuff there, you might end up having to leave something behind. And ideally, you don't want to leave anything behind, right? It's annoying. So we want to go there now, deploy the rope, and then make it back to Grey Mother's. Maybe get up to the church. Because there is a bonus if you actually leave the pearls with Lilly. So there's a little graveyard in front of the church. So unfortunately Lilly has passed away a long time ago. 1985 according to the gravestone, but the game's a little bit weird about when it's set. It's got references to delivering mail by drones, which is really modern, right? Drones are a fairly recent thing, but some of the computers are extremely old. And there's other hints that point to the game being much older. Lilly, for example, died in 1985, which is a long time ago, right? But then again, maybe Grandmother was a lot younger then. So it's a bit weird. Getting a sense of when the game is set is a little bit strange. So it gives the impression of being set at maybe say in the 80s or 90s, but there's also references, like I said before, to drones and stuff like that, so it's really weird. I don't think it's ever been explained when exactly the game is set.
have a bad feeling I'm never gonna see this place again.
Okay, there you go. We'll leave that torch. It's better to just pick up fresh sticks. And there you go. Well, now... Okay. Well, we would be underweight if we weren't so tired. So we still owe Grandma a whole bunch of fuel. One of the things that we'll pick up is a whole bunch of fuel up there. Definitely worth going light. But also definitely worth picking up all the sticks that we can now. Okay. It's still... Yeah, it's still plenty of daylight. So there may be a chance that we'll find another deer, but frankly, at this stage we don't need the meat. It's a bit of a waste. Because we'll have plenty of calories to give to Grandma. The meat that we have left over is quite sufficient to keep us fed for the next couple of days. We're definitely not gonna carry it with us. Those things weigh a kilo each, so definitely not worth the effort. There may be a few sticks that are left here. Okay, so there's one car over here. And... oh, it was over here. The padlock just wasn't visible against the white background. There's a wolf. At this stage, I don't care if it follows me. I'm not bothered. Can't do anything with the boss down there. We've already looted everything. The woodlot does tend to contain a whole bunch of sticks, which we will definitely want to pick up. It's not getting... yeah, it's not wind east. And there's a wolf, yep. When they're in that howling animation, it doesn't really matter what they won't even charge you. And there is a trick you can use, by the way, if you're being stalked by a wolf. There is a trick you can use. You can actually put wildlife between you and the wolf. So in this case, there's a bunny there. Now let's see. If we get the bunny roughly, yeah, there you go. Normally you would have to duck in order to get it to pick up on a new prey. But as you can see, now that wolf is gonna have a meal and will move on. So even if you don't have a fire, it should be okay using bunnies or deers to lure it away. But that usually only works when you don't have any meat. So yeah, be careful about that. Yeah, we already got the meat there, so... I guess we weren't going to get lucky and find an extra D corpse. Okay, then maybe there are a few cars back here. We've already inspected that one, I think. No, we haven't. I thought that was on the road. What they? Oh, they're flying past. Okay. So somebody once mentioned that flying crows signifies a change in weather. So what we saw then. flying straight across the sky instead of circling around. Supposedly that indicates that the weather's about to change. I haven't seen that confirmed anywhere. Have we done this? Yeah, we have. Nothing on their tray. Still plenty of daylight. We should be able to make it to the church, by the way. Although having said that, the caveat is that the weather doesn't turn for the worse. Because one of the things that happens is that once you step into an indoor area, so once you go past the loading screen, the weather can change significantly. So that's a bit of a risk that you take when you step indoors. Is that? Yeah, I did. Yeah. Just wasn't visible. Okay, that's a flare shell. That's useful. There may be a car up there, but... yeah, so I think we'll go north towards the church. We'll pick up the final cash, drop off the pearls with Lilly. Hopefully she doesn't clutch them when she sees us.
I'd lay down right here if I thought I'd ever wake up again.
There's no need to carry that many flare shells. The only time you need to use multiple flare shells is when you're being stalked by multiple different groups of wolves. Ah, the boots, of course. That's what was extra. There you go. Okay, fingers crossed that the weather hasn't changed. Okay, decent. Still decent. Let's have a bit of meat. And move on. Although, I am kind of short on torches there, actually. Didn't expect that to be the case. There was a car up there, wasn't there? So there's a chance of a car over here, but... or maybe misremembering, but... if you cross the bridge, there are about 3 or 4 cars up to the church and just beyond it. And there are a couple more cars on the way near to the bridge. Because we want to be as light as possible on the journey up to the bridge, we'll go up to the church, which is about halfway to the bridge. Or about a third of the way to the bridge, actually. And we'll loot everything in between. Then we'll come back and we should be able to make a journey northwards. Okay, still plenty of daylight. Okay, that's a wolf right there. I don't care, it's nice and calm, I have a torch. There's no need to fear them. The only danger you're facing if you have a torch is if you end up too close to them. If you end up physically too close to them, they will go into the assault animation, so that is the only risk. Rifle cartridge, yes, okay. It's a bit of a foreshadowing. Because you can't get a rifle on this episode. But you will on the next one, so... it's useful to keep, because bullets are a bit rare, I think. I don't think you end up finding a huge amount of bullets. And yes, if you're behind them, So the facing of the wolves actually matters. So in that case, they were actually in front of me, facing away, so they couldn't see me. Do I have any sticks? Okay, so let's pick up a couple. Take a bit of a detour, just in case I need to light a fire. Okay, there's another car over here. And there's a church. It helps you be more sneaky when you're doing an activity, if you crouch. So yes, right now it doesn't really matter that much because I have the torch, but if I didn't, I could use a stone to direct them away from me. So yes, you can actually use stones to lure them towards a position. Do that. You'll see that the wolves are attracted to the sound of the stone, so you can use that, plus crouching, to actually get around the wolf without having to confront it. The problem is that if it's really cold, then sneaking is liable to cause you cold damage. So yes, you have to balance out being safe against the wolves versus being safe against the temperature. Okay, we've got 2 more torches. May need to start a fire. Okay, that's the final car there. But the graveyard is over here. I think I may lose... Yeah, I think I may lose the torch. What I'll do is I'll chuck it. Hopefully this won't make me lose a torch. I mean, I'm not holding it, right? So there you go. And the torch didn't go out. So it looks like I've avoided losing my fire. Bloody game. I can't believe that it puts out your torch. Okay, so let's make a bit of loot. There's a church. We do want to loot the interior. How many torches do I have? I've got 3. Now this guy should have a whole bunch of flares. There you go. So always check where you're sitting as well. So always check where you're sitting. Okay, how much time do I have? Let's go slightly north. There is a trailer up there. I could sit here and collect all of these guys, but it's not really that important. We'll be leaving the majority of our gear with Great Mother anyway, so... this could be a bit risky because it is a fair distance away. And if the wind picks up, we might end up without a torch and without the stamina to sprint. But there is a bit of loot up there and I will go up there. There is also a workbench in that trailer, so... There's 2 workbenches in this map. There's one at the farmhouse, which is exposed to the elements, but this one is indoors. It is not a bad idea to come here to craft. So yeah, it is, yeah, okay, we may just make it back in time. So we got plenty of meat, we got plenty of resources and tools. We're pretty well set. I guess if we wanted to stay here we could. Me and Great Mother, just the 2 of us. But yes, we do have to move on. The story does demand that we move on. Okay, yeah, there's deers as well. Okay, I do have to start a fire. I might have enough sticks. There's a whole bunch of There's a whole bunch of collectibles. Okay, now these drums and fire barrels, they're not affected by the wind. So it's great when you're outdoors. Now the downside of these barrels is that they don't scare the wildlife. So if you have an open campfire, you can keep the animals away. But apparently these guys don't keep animals away, which is a bit of a problem. But they are windproof.
That did it.
Nice, 2 great torches. Oh, actually, can I? Yeah, and you can't use this. Oh shit. Fine. I screwed up. Oh no, it's gone out. Okay, fine. Fine, I screwed up. I thought I could light the torch from that again. Problem. Okay. There are a few collectibles, not a huge number of them, but like I said before, when we make our way to the bridge, we want to be as loud as possible. Because we'll be picking up a whole bunch of loot, including a whole bunch of coal as well. Okay, so here we are. There's a jerry can, yep, quite heavy. And some socks, bit of cloth. And some cargo pants, which are better than what we're wearing now. They're better than Mackenzie's pants. There you go. Okay, so let's head back. Now, this is a problem. Those wolves are gonna be a problem. And the sun, yeah, definitely not. Definitely can't use the mag lens, can we? No. Okay, so I'm gonna leave this stuff behind. Don't need this. Don't need that either. Everything else we'll leave at Grey Mother's. Alright, time to pull out the flare gun. Okay, so yeah. Alright, so maybe the torch would have gone out anyway. Maybe the torch would have gone out anyway. But like I said before, it wasn't this bad, right? But we stepped into an interior space, and there you go. The weather changed on a penny. We are losing a few hit points per hour because we're tired. So yes, any meter that goes to red basically means that you start losing hit points. If all the meters are white, you gain hit points at a very low rate. It is noticeable after a bit of time. But yes, the one thing to keep in mind is that meters that go red mean that you lose health. Not a big deal right now, but yes. When you go cold, that really eats away at your hit points. Alright, there's a church again. So yeah, this pond and the pond further to the bridge. They're the only two sources of cattails other than the pond in the town itself. So you can collect about, I think you get about 60 cattails altogether. But yeah, the weather has definitely turned for the worse. Normally I would go through the back way and pick up all the cattails, but definitely not doing that now. The day is ending, and there's not much loot back there. Plus, we also have to loot the church as well, right? So, you want to do that before it gets too dark. Otherwise, you'll have to use some fuel. May drop some stuff. That's cloth, by the way. The tube. Not much good other than just for breaking down into cloth. Okay, so books. Okay, that's good. It seems that the preacher gave up his post and started doing sermons online. Which is, again, very modern, right? Very modern. Okay, a bit of fuel. There may be something here. There. So I'm going to leave a few things behind. These were a bit heavy. Yeah, all of these books, not necessary. And all this stuff, not necessary. And yeah, not necessary. Okay, so the weather is still quite bad. The wolves may still be on the road. But the last cache is over here. There's a fallen tree. Right there. And if you want, there's some bunnies. And occasionally deers over there. Maybe that's in survival mode, but... And that way, if you follow the path down there, that leads back to the farmhouse.
Aha! Here it is.
Aha.
Fuel.
I knew you were here. And there you go, that's the supply caches. Yeah, now we're facing a headwind, so we're awfully slow. So it's a bit risky to climb up the hill, by the way, because you can end up face to face with a wolf. Okay, so they're over there. That's one over there. May have to use a sneak method. I mean, if things are real bad, so you could go around that way. Although, yeah, I think those guys are kind of congregating in that area, so I may be able to go that way. If I skirt the edge of this rock formation, that may be far enough. And I can afford to take my time and sneak, so I should be able to avoid any attention if I'm careful. So yeah, this is a really bad situation to attract wolves. No stamina. Yeah, he's kind of not facing us. The other guy's not facing us. So when you don't have a fight, it's a good idea to give them a wide berth. As wide as you can afford. Especially if you're facing a headwind and don't have any stamina to sprint. So luckily the animals are actually quite predictable, so once you understand how they behave, it's not too much of a big deal. There are bugs in the way they behave sometimes, but usually they're pretty predictable, so... Okay, then, yeah, so they're not gonna see us. Although, maybe a good idea to sneak. So I'll go through there. I think you may be able to go through there and end up at that... towards the farmhouse. That's not where we want to go. Okay, that's pretty... yeah, that's okay. We should be okay. Oh, look at that, it's so slow. So yes, not only are we out of energy, we're completely overweight. And we face a headwind, so the worst possible conditions. Welcome to Milton, where it's nice and windy. Alright, I'm gonna take this way just in case there's wolves spawning over there. As long as you're not carrying anything that smells, they won't be drawn to that entrance over there. But yeah, if you're carrying smell, then you may as well just take the bridge. Because they will come for you if there's any wolves out there. It is still possible to get through there with smell, but you might end up facing a wolf right away once you crest the hill. So yeah, being careful does pay off. Oh my god, so slow. Okay, no wolves. That's good news. So the wolves spawn at random locations. The locations themselves are set, but where the wolves are spawned at any given time is determined randomly. I don't know when exactly it's set. Maybe at the beginning of the day. It may be at the beginning of the day. Because I don't think that stepping through a loading area actually changes that. Unless you're leaving the map, which we haven't yet. So conditions are definitely getting bad, but we don't care, we're pretty close to home anyway. And as you can see, we took a little bit of health damage right there. Just enough to take away our well-fed bonus. Yeah, look at that, that's... Yep. We wouldn't have been able to carry the torch all the way here. But that's okay, we got past the wolves anyway, and that was the entire point of this. Okay, now I do wanna give Grandma her food and her fuel. Definitely want to do that. Okay, that's good. Yeah, let's drop a few flares. Alright, let's get... Right here, that's from giving the pearls to Lilly. Yep, they're quite light and quite good. Can't speak to her anymore. Can we? Oh no, we can.
I found Lilly, your daughter. She has her pearls now.
They were the last gift I gave her on her 16th birthday. She wanted to leave Milton, to be free. She had grown up here in the mountains, a climber. She wanted to leave, to summit all the tallest peaks on Great Bear. I was afraid to let her go. We fought bitterly. And she left. She died out there in the mountains, in the wilderness.
Losing a child is...
It's like losing your own life. You have a kind heart, Mackenzie. But it's a heavy one. Go. Find your friend. Use Lily's climbing gear and her map, and maybe then her death won't feel so empty.
Thank you. I'll come back for you.
You've done a lot for me, Mackenzie. I won't forget about you.
Unfortunately, we're not coming back. Unfortunately. So what's left then? Let's see. Let me get this cookie here. Extra supplies and highway robbery. We're gonna do highway robbery tomorrow. So we've done, let's see, memories. Yep. Basics of survival. Ah, yes. Basics of survival gave us these two. So we can craft those. No. Remember all that? Remember that skinning and gutting that I've been doing? Yeah. So by tomorrow morning, all of these guys should... Well, enough of them should have cured for us to craft both. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments. Feel free to leave a like, subscribe and hit the bell button to be notified when new videos come out. See you soon.